Welcome to Moss Marketing Mondays, a.k.a. the M3 Podcast. Brought to you by Moss Marketing Group, bringing you everything marketing every Monday. Stay tuned for marketing tips and tricks you can use today. The M3 Podcast, marketing knowledge to help you succeed. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the M3 Podcast. This week we have something way different that we haven't done before. I have four friends of mine, Victor, Johnny, Philip, and Cornelius. And they're all from South Africa. And they come over here to work in America, and we became friends, a year ago?
Yeah.
A little over a year ago.
Well, we met you the first year, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 years maybe?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, time flies now. But to kick off this podcast, because what we do most of the time when we hang out is take tequila shots. So we're gonna keep the tradition rolling.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being on. See, now we're alive.
That doesn't come back up.
It's about to.
Just don't get it on the mic.
If we have to take a throw-up break, we will later. So when was the first year you guys started coming over here? I know it's all different times, right?
Yeah.
Victor, when did you start coming over?
End of 2021. So I just came for the harvest, which starts in August. I got the job through Cornelius and Philip, and they started beginning of 2021. They were there the whole year.
No, what was it?
2021.
Yeah, it was
2021.
2021.
Yeah.
We were sitting on the lawnmower and discussing this. How do you say it?
Discussing.
No hablo inglés.
Old Victor can.
We're going to have a translation underneath the podcast.
You guys got to hear a lot of subtitles. No, it was 2021, and then we went through the year, and then Corey came to us. He's like, okay, we need another guy. Me and Cornelius were kind of scrambling and stuff. We didn't know where to go and what to do. We didn't have many options, and then he told me, okay, this guy Vic, he wants to come over. And luckily, all of us hung out like before, and we knew each other, and we know he was a decent guy, and sent Vic a message, and now he's here.
So for people listening that don't know what you guys do, what is it that you guys do while you're over here?
Well, we try to act like farmers.
There's a lot that goes on.
Yeah.
So you four all work for the same farmer up north in Stewartsville, Thompson Farms.
Yeah.
So
No, go for it.
So Corey basically runs cattle and crops. He's got maize and soybeans, corn and soybeans. So whatever it takes to run that, that's kind of what we do. I don't know if the others want to talk a bit about what we do.
Philip's over there making sure his collar looks good and everything. He's like,
Camera's on now.
he's new to the mic life, but he'll be in Hollywood here in a couple weeks. So with farming over here, is it a huge transition for you guys coming from South Africa, or is that stuff that you guys are doing over there already?
I don't know. These guys kind of familiar with farming. I mean, I grew up on a farm, but my dad didn't actually farm, especially not with like corn, soybeans, and cattle, you know. So it was kind of, for me, it was something to adapt to. And yeah, it didn't take very long to adapt, but otherwise, I don't know, these guys familiar with it.
I think about it all the time about how crazy it was when we first met, and you guys just traveled halfway across the world, and it's just no big deal. And you're over here working for a farmer, and you guys are putting in crazy amounts of hours, and you guys are hustling to be here, thankful to be here. You're seeing all the opportunities that are to be had in America, and what was the first time, Philip, that you were like, yeah, I'm going to go to America to go farm? How did that transpire?
I don't know. Maybe it's kind of more common than you guys think. Like, there's a couple South Africans that come over here, not as much as in Missouri. That's probably why you guys are not so familiar with it. More like North Dakota, Mississippi has a lot. Yeah. And I don't know, a couple of my buddies I went to school with, they went to our neighbors through an agency, you know. And I don't know, I just saw all these guys doing it, and then, I don't know, America just sounded kind of cool. And
So why do you guys come here to work? Is there a reason for it? Like, because if there's that many of you guys coming over to work here, Like, what's the reasoning behind it?
I mean, at this young age, the money we make over here is not even close to the amount of money we could have made over there for the type of work we do.
I mean, if
So it's a lot more money here than it is
Way
there.
more.
yeah, like we came here just as soon as we finished high school, you know, and you can't just get a job in South Africa straight out of high school and make that amount of money over there. And especially with the currency too, like you got the US dollar and then the South African rand. US dollar is obviously way stronger.
So what's a dollar to a rand?
Right now,
One to
it's
18.
17.
17 point,
90?
yeah,
I checked it today.
1
It's
to
like
18 or 20.
basically 18. So, I mean, if you make $1,000 here, it's 18 grand back home. It's quite a bit.
So it's
It
only
it doesn't have as much buying power,
Yeah.
but you know, still a lot.
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's only a lot of money if you take it back home. Like, it's obviously not a lot of money here, but as soon as you get back home, then you made.
So when you say it's the buying power is different, is food and alcohol and things like that equivalent to cost here, or is it a lot cheaper there?
So when let's say you buy this beer for like $2, I don't know if that's a lot or not. I think it is. And in South Africa, you'd buy this beer for, let's say, 15 rand. So it evens out a little bit, but it's still more money back home, you know.
Gotcha.
There's a little more. Some things are more expensive. Some things are cheaper. Can't really compare it. Like, if you had to take $1 and buy a beer in South Africa, it'd cost you about $1 to 80 cents or something, you know. But over here, a beer costs you like $4,
Yeah.
you know.
I think it just kind of depends because, like, we've looked at a couple hunting rifles. Rifles this side are way cheaper compared to that side.
Exactly.
But now we're talking about beer being cheaper back home. So I think it just depends on what you're buying.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So is there, I know Africa is a monster continent. So when you say that you're from South Africa, like where, are you guys all from like a similar area? Or is it, are you guys
They
all,
are.
they are?
South Africa is a country itself. You know, when I say South Africa, it just sounds like I'm from the south side of Africa. You know, but I'm from South Africa. It's
That's
a
the
country.
country's name.
And
I guess
We
I'm,
went
I guess
to
I'm
school
just
together.
an idiot.
it's not what I'm saying. But we went to high school together, same area, about 60 miles away from each other. I went to boarding school, which is not as bad as it sounds over here.
Over here, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I know. And so it's not that case, but we went to high school together, and then Victor, he also stayed in the same area where we went to high school.
So how far is Johnny from where you guys were?
About 5 hours.
5 hours. So then how'd Johnny come in the photo?
So, this is a good story, actually.
Just a straggler over
No,
here.
so what happened is,
Kind of borderline.
so we were in the city. We've been living in the city for a while now, and it's a big city in Africa. It's called Pretoria. And Cornelius came over, and one of my friends, who dated his brother actually, said, "You need to meet these guys. They farm in America. They're a lot of fun." I said, "Okay, I'm down for it." And
That sounds
Oh.
about right for
Yeah.
after knowing you guys.
and I met Cornelius the one night, and we just stayed drunk for like a week. And he said, "You better come to America." I said, "Okay." And I started working for my uncle. He's a big farmer back home. And Cornelius called me and said, "Well, we've got a place. You want to come?" I said, "Yeah." And about a month or two later, I was over there.
By
Yeah.
the way, his paperwork took way quicker than all of ours. I don't know how he got it done so fast.
I don't fucking know how I got it done. I didn't do shit.
I think he just straight up jumped on a boat and just rolled. He said, screw the paperwork.
Literally, we get here when it's all cold because usually when we come over here, it's like March, February. So it's cold, you know, it's miserable, and can't wait for summertime, blah blah. And then whenever he got here, it was like, kind of when did he get here? August.
10th of August, so it was a state fair.
It was kind of still hot. It was a state fair. He literally just from the airport touchdown, and literally from there on out straight to the state fair. He didn't even get to meet everyone on the farm before we just went and have a good time.
I mean, that might as well be the first thing you do when you come to America.
I
Go to
went
a
and
state
got
fair.
drunk at the state fair for like 5 days, and I'm like, "Fuck, America's great," and that was great introduction.
Now he goes to every state fair around, like every weekend.
Yeah,
Almost
maybe.
lost a finger the first time. he
Oh,
came
yeah.
here.
So you guys just pick up, you head over here, and you're like, we're going to farm in America.
Well, it's the American dream.
It is. And the crazy thing is people don't view that anymore here. Like, I think it's crazy when you look at people all around the world that want to be here.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then people here are like, I hate this country. I want to be somewhere else. And it's like, where are you going to go? Like, that you have the freedoms that you have here.
it's like, I get it. Every country has their problems, you know. Wherever you go, there's going to be problems. I just kind of think America's problems are a little bit better than all
A
the
little bit
others.
lower
A
than the
little bit, you know, not that bad as everyone thinks. And it's just a great opportunity, you know, the economy, everything just works. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to work to make it work, but still.
I mean, I've heard this saying once, like, you could have had the worst life imaginable. You couldn't have money for bread, whatever. But this other guy grew up in a house, no problems, everything went smooth. And the one morning he wakes up with his toast burned black burnt toast. And he freaks the fuck out because he doesn't have experience of worse shit. So he thinks, that's the end of my life now. And I think most people don't know what real problems are.
I don't think
And-
most Americans know what real problems are.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I have seen it. I haven't experienced it, so it's two different things. But I've been to Costa Rica. I've been to Spain. I've been to Mexico. And I tell someone to go to Mexico, and how about you just pay attention when you're in that shuttle from the airport to your resort that you're going to. You're going to see real problems.
Yeah.
You're going to see people that struggle to have a roof over their head. These people are struggling to have water. These people are struggling to have food. I don't really know of any Americans that ever struggle with that. Like, there's homeless people, things like that, but also America is the land of opportunity that is everywhere.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
you'll see somebody with a sign that they need money, and they'll have a now hiring sign right behind them at a gas
Yeah.
station.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
one thing that I'm not too sure of my facts, but I've heard about a lot of, like how can I say this? The work population.
Workers' class.
Yeah, not the workers' class, like the
Unemployment
job
rate?
demand.
Yeah.
Unemployment rate. Which is kind of funny to me because literally in Stewartsville, where we're from, there's like the population is like, what, 500 and
750.
700 or something. But, I mean, there's a help wanted sign outside. I mean, I
Everywhere.
would rather just go get the job than go sit on the street.
Yeah.
But I heard a lot of people told me, like, after COVID, they get paid benefits, and they thought they just quit their job and just take the benefit money. I don't really understand that, but
So America did they did an unemployment deal where if somebody lost their job due to COVID, then they were writing people $4,000 monthly checks to pretty much stay at home. And government was just giving out free money pretty much everywhere, which it's kind of coming full circle back around right now. Now it's companies are looking for help. We work with 100+ companies in Kansas City alone, and about at least 75% of them are hiring all the time. Like, people need bodies, people need people to employ, but people don't want to work. And it's you guys come over, and I always talk about the story about you and your brother fighting in Corey's backyard about who has worked the most hours in a week. And it's like, I sit there, I'm like watching this, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I mean, I don't know any two American people that fight about that, but it's, you guys work your asses off while you're here.
I mean,
we do it out of
I'm
free
not-
will, by the way.
I'm not complaining about my job. I love my job, but I mean, there is easier jobs to have, especially when you travel about 10,000 miles across the world to come do. There has to be easier jobs out there, but this is just the one we got, not experienced with, but came across our path and we took it, you know.
But also, like, I feel like there has to be some sort of experience for you guys to come over. You guys are running semis back and forth from Stewartsville to the grain bins. You guys are running tractors. You're running combines. You're like, most people don't just hop in that and say, hey, yeah, like, if I had a $500,000 combine, I'm not hiring some dude that I've never met before in my life. Like, hey, yeah, jump in the fucking combine. We'll get this deal done.
We don't get to run the combines.
No combines, tractors. though.
That takes some time.
You
Yeah.
gotta kind of, they ease it into that. It's not just a quick hop in the combine or something, but you know, Corey just likes to get after it. Like, they run pretty fast, you know. So whenever I got here, it wasn't like 2 days, and I really haven't driven a semi before. Like I didn't have any experience in that field back home, and we did some driving from a farm to the bins, on gravel road, luckily. And then next moment I see I'm on the road at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just kind of happened.
I feel like I get up really early, and I feel like I'm in front of a lot of people with getting up, and then I'm like getting up. I'm like, God damn! I'm like, they posted 2 hours ago, sitting in KC already, sitting at the grain bins. I'm like, what time did they get up?
I mean, then you already got to grab a shower. You got to start your semi, wait for it to warm up,
Sometimes
grab
in
coffee.
harvest it gets early.
So, what kind of hours you guys work during harvest?
110.
I think we average like 14, 15 a day, average. So
7
like
days a week?
top end of that 20, bottom end of that 9, around.
It depends on the weather, I think.
Yeah.
I think if it's dry and you can combine, we would probably run. We
You'd
would
run 120 hours.
7.
Okay, so last harvest, last year, I think we didn't have any rain for 8 weeks, so we ran 8 weeks straight, and
12
that
hours
average,
a day.
yeah, it was up there.
I feel that that's a rarity to find U.S. citizens that want to work that hard.
I
Like-
mean, the more you work, the more you get paid.
Yeah.
If you run the hours, you're gonna get the fat paycheck.
So-
That there is going to be the first reel that is cut from this, and it's going over everything. The more you work, the more you fucking get paid.
But it's true.
We're gonna make a shirt with that on it too. Like,
But that's true. That, like, when you get real tired at work, you just think, oh, well, I'm making a fucking butt ton of money now, so might as well just keep going.
yeah. But there's so many people that look at it as like, well, I'm not working over 40 hours. Like, if it's 40 hours and a half, I'm out. Like,
But the thing is,
mean,
we hate working less than 40 hours
Yeah.
yeah,
because that's not a good deal then.
I've kind of looked at this at a different way. If you want to work 100 hours a week, that's 4 to 6 every day. Which, I mean, that's not hard to do. You do that. You work.
Yeah.
You get 100-hour weeks too. So if you just kind of do your math a little bit and figure something out, you can. It's not that hard to get there. It's just what you do during that time that kind of gets hard a little bit.
yeah, and I think it's just also a drive, a mentality, a way that you operate. And I don't know your guys' families back home, but I'm assuming they're hard workers back where you guys are from too. Like, I don't think that happens by mistake.
Not everyone.
Not everyone.
No, not everyone, but most of the people. If you grew up on a farm, you're a pretty hard worker. But there's some places that aren't.
Yeah.
Thing is, you can't really not work back home because, like, you get so many government grants and everything. Like, you can really live off the government. Yeah, you can kind of make your way around it. Back home, there's none of that. Like, you can get 350 rand, which is like
What, $20?
yeah, it's $20 a month if you want to live off the government. If you're not unemployed or whatever. So
I think that is a problem too, that they've moved unemployment so high in America that it's something that people can actually live on.
well, yeah.
And what the tax checks that they give out, I've just experienced in the car space with people that have a lot of kids, and now people have kids to play the tax system, and I think it's just a very messed up system, but it's making people not as hard of workers. And you have somebody that comes from another country that we don't have we don't have that option. And then it's, once again, people complain about it here when you're like, you always have, let's say it's like a big brother that always takes care of you, that back home you don't have that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, everyone's got to work,
So what is, like, when you guys come here to work, is it the long game to go back home and work for family operations? Is this just like, you guys didn't go to college or anything? Like, I don't know, is college a thing in South Africa? Like, what's that look like?
College is. There's a lot of people that go to college.
Most of the people.
Most of the people actually do go to
Yeah.
college. It's just.
It's actually pretty rare to not go to college.
I mean, I think the people that come over here to work either are really dumb or have a lot of self-belief. I mean, you gotta have a lot of confidence
That's what I
to do
told
that.
Philip.
I got the self-belief.
That's what I told Philip in grade 10. I'm going to America. This school thing is not going to work for me. And came over and start grinding.
So are colleges like the same over there as they are here?
Pretty much. So I actually went to college. I did 4 years, finished college, and then just wanted to come work a bit somewhere else. You know, I work on a family farm back home, so just wanted to get a bit of experience outside, see how things are done different.
So what'd you go to college for back home?
Ag finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what does it cost to go to college in South Africa?
Depends what college you go, but I think now 200 rand. So what's that?
I don't know, not a lot.
It's
It's
probably like
20,000.
20 grand
Yeah.
little less.
No,
Probably
15.
12, 15.
yeah.
for all 4 years
No, that's a year.
per year. Okay.
Yeah.
That's I think
That's just the tuition, so that's not like accommodation, everything else, all the expenses outside.
But I mean, most colleges back home are like internationally recognized, like as good colleges.
the top ones.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Good,
Yeah.
really good colleges.
So, do you plan on working for family farm back home in the
Yeah,
long run?
So this is my last year in the States, and then next year I'll be back on the farm
Gotcha.
working with my dad.
So, what your farm back home is not the same as what you're doing here, right?
No. So we mostly do timber. I think we're about 80% timber, and then we've got cattle and crops as well, but the crops aren't on the same scale as what Corey does at this side.
The crops here are bigger scale.
Yeah. So the area that we farm in is mostly timber. There's not a lot of crop farming. There is a little bit, but like Corey does, I think if you convert it, he does like 2,500 hectares, 3,000 hectares.
Yeah.
3,000.
6,000 acres. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
No,
about that.
that's
So
about
2,500,
more than
yeah. And then the guys back home, the biggest farm in our area probably does 600 hectares. So
Oh, shit.
it's a lot bigger. But then,
So, when you say timber, what are you guys actually doing, like farm wise, for timber?
so like you see how the corn and the soybeans are planted in the field?
Yeah.
Same deal, just trees.
So
So
you-
like they're in rows in trees and plantations.
Well, trees take a fucking long time to grow.
So the one type that we that we do,
I put a tree out there. I'll harvest it in 30 years.
yeah. So the one type we harvest every 10 years, and the other type we harvest every 25 years.
But their trees are in rotation, so like every year there'll be a plantation that's ready.
Yeah. So
And then
many
they'll
acres.
replant that, and
You just
and then-
gotta plant like a whole bunch of trees
So
for like 10 years.
it really
every
takes
year.
12 years until you can start harvesting. You know? But they're in that rotation now.
I don't think that's a thing here. I don't think I've.
I think maybe in some
There's
places.
gotta be some trees. Somewhere.
Has to
I
be.
don't know.
I feel like people do it with Christmas trees, but I don't think they do it on a grand scale of trees. But I could totally be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about tree farming. So, what would you say when you guys came over here? Like one of your biggest obstacles was, like, did you guys struggle with picking up English, or did you know English when you came over? Cornelius is grinning ear to ear. Over here. He's like, I still haven't fully figured it out.
Started when Corey picked me up from the airport. Holy shit! I thought it was she. Yeah. So what? This is not my type of English. So I started speaking English like 3 years ago. At school, it was not a big thing. Like in the classroom, we will just sit there and
Look at it.
just just talk Afrikaans in the English class, and it didn't bother me because I did not like. I wanted to come here, but I thought I'll be fine. Like I'll figure the shit out, and I'm not too good in English, but
Don't worry, I wasn't that great at English either. I'm from here.
I thought Cornelius was thinking he's not gonna be as social. He didn't worry about English. He was just like, I'm gonna go over to America. We're just gonna work all the time, every day, all day. So I don't have to bother with. You just gotta point in directions, and I'll be able to do it. You know.
You gotta tell him the story of the .33.
0.33. Oh, so Cornelius was on the spray rig running. Peyton was spraying, and he was running the spray rig, and Peyton told him to measure a certain amount in a cup.
Corey.
no,
No,
paid
Peyton
him
told-
because I was the spray tender runner. So
Okay.
So then Peyton told Cornelius to mix a certain amount in the cup, and I don't. Was
It
the
would've
beer
been-
not working, or what was not?
you said you explained it out in Afrikaans to me how to do it, and I don't know if you just said words and he heard 0.33.
So when they told me when they told the story at the lake, they were saying that he's Peyton or Corey or somebody was yelling at Cornelius. They're like, put a third in. And Cornelius is like, look at him, and he's like just confused as hell, and he says
I was
like,
trying to explain
and
it.
then he like,
Afrikaans,
yeah.
he did it in Afrikaans, so he said punt 33.
Yeah.
Punt 33. And he said
he looks at
point 33.
he looks at Philip, and he's like, tell him to put a third in there, and then Philip just leans over, he's like, 0.33. He's like,
Oh no, he just strips his shit.
And what's the worst part is back home we don't use gallons or pounds.
Yeah.
Or reeds,
That
so
has to be one of the biggest obstacles.
that's really hard for me. I don't know the inches and that type of stuff. I do in centimeters, meters, kilometers, and kilograms.
Everything's in metric back home.
metric. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like the whole rest of the world is, except for us.
Even today, when we had to like rearrange some toolboxes, and like
We're trying to do maths while we're trying to sort
the
everything.
sockets,
I was just measuring them against each other. This one goes there.
That one seems to be smaller. So, I know the metric system and everything like that's all way different. But is there anything that I haven't been to South Africa? Hopefully, I'll be going this year.
Yeah.
And get to experience it over there. What would you say some like the biggest differences are between America and South Africa?
Well, the food, because we barbecue on a like a fire with wood, and you guys just throw it on the gas.
I think it must be our way of socializing. I think. I don't know. You guys are fun. You guys are really fun. But back home, like,
I think you're
there's
calling
no
us not
line.
fun.
Like whenever I think whenever you go to a party, like there's no line back home. Like people do it too often.
I don't know. I felt pretty at home at the lake with you guys. That
Oh
was
no, that was
basically
fun.
the same deal as back home.
We do party pretty hard at the lake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like as we're going, I'm figuring out that there are a lot more similarities than I thought. But do things run and operate just very similar? Like, or is it just
Nothing operates as smooth back home. So like,
You guys have got good roads.
yeah.
I'd beg to differ.
Full-
I'd beg to differ.
Oh well,
you
get
guys-
Your time's coming.
over there.
Your time's coming.
I had a pothole that about ate my truck in the middle of Kansas City
Oh,
this
wait.
week.
You'd found a pothole that's about 6 feet deep, and the road's closed, and that doesn't get fixed. It's just over there now. It's a gravel road now.
Just goes around the pothole.
Literally
Yeah.
just turns into a gravel road.
No, the government is not as good.
I don't think we should talk about the government.
It's not,
Yeah, I would have to say I don't think either government is probably great. Because I would say I pay a lot in taxes and I still hit big ass potholes that I feel like should be fixed. Because I'm assuming the taxes aren't even close to over there what they are here.
Relative.
They are?
No, relatively. So here, obviously, you'll pay high taxes dollar terms, but they will pay high taxes rand terms.
And you don't even have,
But you have a
Like-
tax bracket as well.
yeah,
So it depends on how much you make.
yeah.
Same
I think the top end take
42,
45,
45.
45%.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But a big thing is the security.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we would not be able to sit here with your garage door open without a fence around your house, without an electric fence above that fence. Even then, you'd close your garage.
like it's normal. Big.
You guys are
thing.
making me really feel hyped to go over there.
Oh, it'll be great. You'll love it.
like,
Make sure you get robbed. Yeah. Keep your garage door closed.
Like you will not see a yard back there without a wall. It's either walls
Or
or
a fence,
fences,
yeah.
electric fences. And then it's pretty normal to have a normal alarm system like beams outside,
Cameras all
inside,
around.
cameras.
It's like a
Gates.
fortress.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Basically,
But
yeah.
you get gated communities, and then
So
you,
what-
Then you don't have a fence. It will be like this, like the neighborhood you live in, but it'll be fenced off with security around.
Big,
then
massive.
you won't have
A
walls
whole
and
lake.
stuff.
So
Like that.
what's the security issue over there?
People want to steal your
Theft.
shit.
Yeah.
Theft.
You got stuff and they want it.
I mean, that makes sense. I think that's why theft happens here too. Are the laws more lenient? Like, do
It's not.
Police
actually.
don't really do their job.
Yeah.
That's the main
Yeah.
problem.
you guys have less?
You
police?
don't
there's-
call the police, you call all the farmers and
Like it's more of like a community thing. Like the community protects the community. The police is not worth a damn.
And
like
like-
there's also security companies. Like with our alarm system, whenever alarm goes off, like I remember this one time, I went out to a party. My mom told me like I'm probably gonna be asleep when you get back. Just unlock the door. I got a remote that sets off the alarm. Forgot all that shit at home. I thought it was gonna be fine. My mom might still be awake. And I just drive into the yard, open the gate, drive into the yard, and alarms go off. I was like, okay, my mom's gonna wake up here in a second. They don't wake up. Alarm keeps going off. After a while, the security company shows up because whenever alarm goes off, the security company shows up and like, what's going on? Check it out. And this guy almost shoots me because I don't know. I'm just trying to get into my house, and this guy's like, what the hell's going on here? It's like, no, I'm trying to get into my house.
Yeah, I'm trying to break in. I don't have keys.
It looked a little sketch, you know. So after a while, like, this guy doesn't want to leave. I told him, no, you can leave. Everything's fine. He doesn't want to leave. Okay, after a while, they call my grandpa. Like, they live a couple of miles down the road. It's like, call my grandpa. Now my grandpa's there. Security company's there. I'm there. We're all trying to get into the house. My mom's not waking up. Like, everyone's like, no, but maybe something's wrong. Like, the alarm's going off. My mom's not waking up. Like, what's going on here? It seems really sketchy. I don't have keys. I'm trying to get into the house. After a while, we break down the first door. Broke it down. Nobody wakes up. Now I have to keep, like, there's 3 doors between the, like...
What?
There's like 3 doors between...
Break in to get in.
Yeah, like, till the front of the house, till my mom's bedroom, my mom's dad's bedroom. There's 3 doors. Broke the first one down. Knock on the second one. Second one, nobody wakes up. Breaks that one down. Now I get to my mom's bedroom, and I knock on that door, still not waking up. I'm like, dang, do I gotta break 3 fucking doors to get in my own house? And,
Do they live in like a gun safe? Like, it sounds like a gun safe.
it's just normal door, you know.
Oh, that's pretty normal setup.
Anyways, luckily at the last door, my mom wakes up, opens the door. Me, my grandpa, and the security guard standing outside, and she's like, what's going on? Like, motherfucker, we were trying to get into the house. I mean, so it's just, you can't, over in America, you just wouldn't have that problem. You wouldn't have the alarm system.
Now kids sneak out, nobody even knows.
Yeah.
But I mean, a big thing in South Africa, like where you can make a lot of money, the security industry, which sounds crazy, but if you have a response business, you make a lot of money because you get like contracts for let's say neighborhood, and this neighborhood is covered by this security company, and everyone who's paid for that security company will have their like pamphlet in front of the gate, so everyone will know, and you get a lot of exposure that way. And those guys make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So pretty much over there, you just pay if you want your own police.
Yeah.
Yes,
deal.
you
Yeah.
pay like
If
a
you-
monthly
if you're in the
fee.
It's like a
area.
private security, yeah.
And it's better if the whole community has them because then they just drive around, see
Yeah.
if everything's cool. And
Yeah.
Actually, I'll say that we've actually got a security company in the farm here that, like, there's a vehicle that'll drive around all the farms. Like,
Back home?
yeah.
Wow. I that was probably the last thing on my list I was even thinking of like security being one of them.
no, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Do you guys have different? So right now, I mean, it's a huge topic in America with gun laws, with everything that's happening here. Do you guys have stricter gun laws? Do you have? Is it pretty much wide open, or like what's it look like there?
Way stricter.
So to get a gun, it's a lot harder than it is over here. You need to go through a whole process. It takes about 1.5 years or 9 months or whatever
For long.
to get the license. You need a license to get a gun.
So you're telling me
Two.
stricter gun laws is more dangerous?
Yeah.
Oh,
But the interesting part is you
More
can just go. You can just go buy a silencer whenever you want.
They literally sell them at the local.
And you guys can.
It's like, I don't know. Over here, you can literally walk. They sell guns at Walmart.
Yeah.
That was the most impressive thing to me. Like, I like hunting. I like shooting. Like, I'm not saying it's necessarily always a good
Philip
thing.
got here. He's like, Walmart's my favorite place. They literally have anything I want.
The first store I walked into was Target. I was like, damn.
He's like, I can buy a case of beer and a gun.
So back up, you gotta go through this whole process. It's paperwork. You gotta wait, and it takes you at least like what? How many months did you guys say?
9.
Well, it's like,
No, more than 6.
6 to
it's
like,
two processes. So you got to get a competency,
Competency first,
and then you get your gun license.
and you need to do like you can get sports shooting or you can get something else.
So is it because the government just doesn't have as streamlined a process, like where we can do a background check? Like I go into a gun store tomorrow, I type in all my info, it runs, and within 5 minutes they have a full background check on me.
Probably.
Is your guys' government just not as?
But I think it's because there's so much illegal guns in South Africa that they want to control the people that can buy them.
I think there's going to be illegal guns everywhere in the world,
Yeah.
regardless of the laws that you put in place. So if you make it harder for people that actually should have guns,
It's just gonna be more illegal.
Make it more
so it's like,
which it kind of is.
yeah, which like you look at it where, okay, so if somebody, I guarantee you, people from Kansas City aren't coming up to rob someone in Stewartsville.
Probably not.
Because they know every single person in Stewartsville has a gun in their house. And they're like, I'm going to get shot if I go there. But then when you start, they're like, but those are all law-abiding citizens that live in areas like that to where they take guns away. Then all of a sudden security becomes an issue really quickly because they're like, well, I'm going to go up to these places where they've already taken all their guns. They've taken everything that actually for someone to protect themselves.
Yeah.
And I think then you end up with security issues all over the place.
But the thing is, you need to relicense those guns after a couple of years. And, okay, this is how do you explain the department? Like,
Which department?
Department of what?
any department.
We talk
Like licensing department and, like,
Police department.
yeah. That takes a fucking lot of time. And they don't like helping you. So, you can fall out of, let's say, that little barrier you have, your gun license will expire, but the department takes so slow to get you a new license because they don't like working. And then the police will come in your house and take all your guns. And you can't do shit about it.
But they don't really, because they don't really police that.
Yeah, because they don't know.
So
They don't even know you have guns.
there are a lot of illegal guns around.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's pretty interesting to see. Like, I feel like a year and a half if you want to buy a gun is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, is that for hunting guns? Like for everything?
Guns.
Any type of
generally.
gun. And I think handguns are more pain in the ass. If I got it right.
Yeah. So I know handguns here. Like you can go buy long rifles over state lines. So like, Legends is I don't know what 30 minutes from here. I can drive to Legends, buy a long rifle, bring it back, put it in my safe tomorrow. If I go buy a handgun, I have to ship it to a dealer here on Missouri side.
Yeah.
Same gun, like
I mean, that's actually
you
a
need to-
breeze. That's a breeze compared to what we got to go through.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which, yeah. No, I thought it was cool because I'm so into hunting and like shooting and stuff. Like,
You go to Walmart daily now.
yeah.
Big Walmart guy.
Love Walmart.
Like, I get new shorts. I can get beer. I can get a gun. I get ammo. I get fishing shit.
Get some jerky on the way out.
Are there any other like laws that are like crazy different between South Africa and America?
I think America's pretty strict.
I mean, I don't
yeah.
know. It's America's very strict. South Africa, you can get away with everything.
Yeah.
anything.
Probably
Like with
way out of
like
the
with like drinking, you can get away there pretty easy. If you just have a Coca-Cola and the cop pulls you over and you're drunk, you said, "You're thirsty, brother? Give him a Coke and you'll be on your way."
I mean, I think the only reason I can tell
I don't do that.
only reason I can tell the story is because I'm not over there. But I literally, me and 3 of my other buddies were on our way to a bachelor's party, and you know we got to get there. We're going to have a good time. My pickup's license expired, so you got to get like a vehicle desk here in front. It expired. I didn't have then I took my number plates off because
You thought that was a good idea. that seems less.
Sounds like the next
no, but
step
the
to that.
dealership actually told me like that's a better idea. Take your number plates off, and they gave me fake ones. So I was like, okay, that's
That
cool.
even the idea is just getting worse and worse.
No, we were kind of hauling ass over there, and I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's just get there. I want to go have fun, you know. So I was going 120 and a 60, and,
Well, that's
and I was
kilometers
passing.
That's
per
cool.
hour.
So how
Yeah.
fast is that miles per hour?
That's
No, that's
70,
not
70,
fast.
70.
Yeah.
It's not fast at all.
It's
But and I was passing this one person like we got these lines we're not allowed to pass. You guys haven't too.
Yeah.
And I passed the car on that line. Next moment, I just like our cops. They sit on the side of the road and they wait for
They
you.
wait for you.
They wave their hand at you like you got to pull
They
over.
walk into the road and say,
And
and if you don't stop,
Why'd you just fucking blow by him?
you just see a big girl walking into the road. And
Well,
I mean, we don't
they,
go by.
they're clever. Actually, they have a big girl or big guy that's waving you down, and then there's a guy sitting in the car, and then if you go, that guy.
that's why they use the big girls. Even if you want to go, you can't go.
So literally, this lady pulled me over. And she's like, I could see, like she's not too serious, you know. I could see she's like not in a bad mood or whatever. So I pull up, and then she's like, "Can I see your license?"
Does she sound like that?
Well, they probably most of the time they talk English, but if you're really in trouble and you drive like 160, like I think that's 100 miles per hour.
Shut up.
And then like my dad, he always get away because he can speak Zulu, their language. So if they start speaking English, he's just turning it to Zulu, and then they.
So is that different than Afrikaans?
Yeah, that's way different.
Like,
Like
way
Sabonani is like good morning.
But if you speak their language, they have respect for you.
Yeah, so, because it's hard to talk that
So
speak that language. So yeah.
Oh.
So my dad just every time he gets away with that, or just keeps money here to the side and give it to them, they take it.
They're gonna see this podcast. And
So,
they're gonna
anyways,
change
this lady pulls me over. She wants to see my license. I give her my license, and then she walks past my pickup. She scans the little disc. She sees it's expired. Don't have number plates on there, and I was going too fast. And I did like 4 very illegal things that I was not supposed to do at all. And
Sounds like a collection at this point.
yeah, and now, like this lady, she's like, "Okay, you're under arrest, and you're gonna have to go to court and all this. Like, we're going to the police station right now."
You're supposed to go
And me and
to
my
jail.
buddies are on the way to like the bachelor party. I'm like,
No.
sorry, man, I'm not going to the. I'm not getting arrested right now. And my buddy just starts crying, like laughing, not like crying because like he starts laughing his ass off. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to like keep serious right now? You're fucking laughing this whole time. And she's like, is this funny? I'm like, I mean, I don't know what to say. She's like, okay, how much can I fine you right now? That was her exact words. I'm like, look at my wallet. There's no cash in there. Look to my buddies. They don't have any cash.
Like 2
And
high
I flip,
fives.
I flip over this little secret pocket, and there's like 6 rand. Like I say, 6 rand? She's like, okay, let's go check your speed. So I get out, and we go check the speed, and she's like, I'm going to let you go, but next time just buy me lunch. So I'm like, okay, let's go to the back.
Did you just get off for like 30 cents?
But the thing is, there was like a serious news report the other day back home where the police
They complain.
they complained about the citizens being rude. They were not bribing them enough on national news,
Literally.
and they said it's the meaning. They're not contributing enough to the bribes. We don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to bribe.
I bet they
gonna
earn
bribe,
more
bro.
in bribes than their actual salary.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
That's why they pull people over, because they know.
Yeah, they know they're going to get filled up for
They're-
6 rand.
They're either getting lunch or more than their
Yeah.
salary. Either both.
So what's like? So say you do get arrested over there. What's it look like if you go to jail over in South Africa? Is it same?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I've never been.
Okay,
Not in
what's
South
the
Africa.
system look like? Is the system similar to here? I haven't been arrested either, but I feel like I know what
We
the system.
don't have a jury in court. It's not a. We don't have the jury.
You're just guilty. It's guilty.
It's the judge. And depends on how many Coca-Colas you give him beforehand. And then you decide your fate.
No,
I'm
make
kidding.
it
It's
so
not-
bad now. Come
It's not like that.
on. No,
I don't. I
honestly
really
can't say.
Well, if you get to that point, you're going to jail. You have done something really bad, like really
Yeah.
bad, like shoot something.
I feel people over here go to jail all the time for like stupid shit.
Yeah, so that was actually a difference that I noticed. Like everyone spoke about going to jail here, like it was just so you go to
Something.
jail. Like we back home, you go to jail, you've done something wrong.
Yeah.
Like you've really made it.
I do feel like that's a lot of places in the world that like if you go to prison or something like that, that it's like serious crimes. Where America's just gotten so into just like they lock people up for like, hey, you got out of paying your taxes for a couple of years, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Hey, you were going 3 times over speed limit, you're going to jail. Hey, you got caught with an ounce of weed, you're going to jail. And it's like then you have like
I don't-
now we got to keep the dangerous people away from the people that aren't dangerous in jail.
literally.
But I think that's why the prisons get overcrowded, because it's some stupid shit.
Well, yeah, they're the new prison being built down in where was that at? I'm coming for the peanut gallery over here.
Oh, the correctional place?
Yeah,
The new Jackson.
yeah. Jackson County they bought like 20 acres that they're building this place because everything's full.
Jeez,
But think about when you go to a jail that like they have to keep 10% of the people away because those are the murders.
Yeah.
And you go to another country like those are the only people that actually get arrested.
Like, I'm scared to take a leak, stop next to the road here, take a leak outside. Then in South Africa, if you stop at a stop and go, there's 20 people just jumping out, taking a leak, and it's normal.
Taking a shit, whatever.
What do you call what is
Whatever you want.
what is a stop and go? Is that a gas station?
No, it's when
Stopping is they work on the roads and
they're fixing
Yeah.
one side of the road and then they're stopping both
It's
sides.
2-lane road.
Yeah, so it's a 2-lane road. They're working on one side of the road and then they're letting cars take turns to go on the other side of the road.
So they're fixing those big ass potholes that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're taking 7 months to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
2 years maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
For 100 meters.
So what would you say that your favorite part of America has been?
The float trip. That's pretty nice.
I don't know. It's overall just a good deal.
But I think it's nice getting out and getting groceries and leaving your car unlocked. I mean,
I don't know if I get used to doing that all the time. That's like a Stewartsville thing.
Yeah.
You might
I
lose
mean,
your shit.
just the overall security and stuff. Because I don't know, it's a load off your shoulders. I mean, you don't have to worry about that the whole time and look over your back. And,
I think people do discount how safe America is, like
yeah,
as a whole. Like there are sketchy areas,
yeah.
but it's funny how people tend to like move towards those areas. That you're like, hey, Chicago has a really high crime rate.
Let's go
And then
there.
everyone like stacks on like sardines to live there.
Yeah.
They're like, well, this place is sketch. I'm like, well, you guys all chose to live there.
I think it's like wherever you go, the more people there is, the more problems there's
Yeah.
going to be.
100%.
It's just the way it is.
I think people get aggravated too when you stack people in like that close. Like, look at New York. Like,
Yeah.
I,
But I mean, it's the same thing like that analogy I made earlier. If you just go and experience something much worse for like, just 2 months and you come back, you'd be so thankful for what you have.
yeah.
And it's getting taken for granted, you know.
So
I wouldn't have a favorite thing in America. It's just everything I do just got a little bit better, you know?
Yeah.
Not just one specific thing. Tough question.
I'd say your hunting probably went backwards here, though, right?
Oh, a little bit.
Oh,
A little bit. It's the
The
hunting. deal,
variety isn't that big.
that's one thing that's a little more hard in America. Like, you can buy guns wherever you want, but where the hell do I use them, you know? Like, you got to get this tag deal. You got to do this, got to do that. You can't hunt there, can't hunt there. Like, back home, you just call the guys, like, I'm coming to your farm, I want to hunt. It's like, okay, I'll look you up with the price list. Like, you got to pay to hunt animals there. It's like basically
So-
your tag.
So when you're paying to hunt animals there, are you paying government or are you paying for the people that those animals ground that they're on?
All the
Both?
Well, the owner's got to pay to get a license to hunt animals. And so whatever portion of what you pay goes to the government at the end of the day. And that goes back into conservation and
Gotcha.
those
But
kinds of
I
things.
think the owner himself can also handle that in certain
no,
situations.
you don't handle that as the hunter. The owner handles it.
No, I know. But you pay the owner, and then the owner's got to pay that.
yeah.
So like a portion of that goes to the government.
So
Yeah.
here's how the hunting system works. Like, you buy a piece of ground, or you inherit a piece of ground that's most likely have been in your family for many years,
Oh, wow.
and it's fenced. And usually it's not small. It's about 3,000 acres or bigger.
They're high fence or are
High
these,
fence.
Electric fenced.
Like fences up.
they're high fencing 3,000 acres.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got to keep elephants in there somehow.
Yeah.
And then,
Shit. That's a lot of fence.
I mean,
You see something around here that's like 20 acres high fence, you're like, damn, somebody's got some dough. Like,
so then you got a whole bunch of lodges on this farm, depending on who the owner is, how good he runs it, whatever.
Not all
And
the
then
farms.
there's
but
then
some farms.
I know some of the, like, if you want to have the whole big five and stuff, you need some high class paperwork. and
where are the
stuff
big
like
five?
Lion,
Elephant,
leopard,
buffalo.
elephant, buffalo.
Five. Five.
What's the other one? Rhino.
Leopard.
Rhino.
But you can't hunt rhinos, right?
You
Well,
got to
can.
pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like
You can.
a stupid amount of money.
You probably shouldn't,
It's
but
around,
you can.
It's 100. It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I can say it's about ranges between 150 to 200 grand US to hunt the rhino, but they need to do it because it's a system, you know. Rhinos get old and they die, but some of the farm owners, they're like, okay, let's use this as a benefit. When a bull or something gets really old, they're like, okay,
And sterile.
we're
You
gonna
can't reproduce anymore.
yeah. He's like, okay, we're gonna get this thing hunted. We're gonna get paid for it, and we're gonna use that money to hire
Conservation.
guards to protect the rhinos. Conservation of them. So it's a cycle. You can kind of call it circle of life.
And that death that it's going to have from being shot is going to be way quicker than any natural death it's going to have.
Exactly.
Being eaten, dying of starvation, any of that. It's going to be way quicker and way easier.
I mean, they're beautiful and all, and it's not something you want to see, but
Yeah.
it's gotta happen.
Yeah. So, do people hunt lions too?
Yeah.
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 Big time.
Didn't know that.
That's a bit of a problem industry because,
They probably breed pretty fast too, don't they?
yeah, but like a lion's obviously really dangerous to hunt.
But,
Like, they'll fuck you up.
yeah, no shit. I mean,
So-
they're called like the king of
a
the
lot of-
jungle for a reason.
Exactly. So a lot of the hunting that happens is they grow them in a pen, which is like a couple acres, and then they'll release them into like a 500-acre pen, and then they'll go shoot them. So this thing's been fed, like it hasn't hunted its whole life, So it's called can shooting. It's not really proper hunting.
But it's not like that everywhere though.
It's like that in most places.
So, yeah.
Like
But I'd
there's
rather
there's not a lot of hunting where they go shoot a lion that's grown up when a baby been hunting in a parlor.
I'd rather
I mean,
hunt
then-
a fucking
then you're
angry
in for
lion
a
than a
hell of a
buffalo
ride.
though. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Buffalo's nasty.
But I'd rather hunt a lion than a buffalo.
I don't know.
I think
That's
so.
toughy.
A wild lion.
Yeah, for sure. You don't know, in a big herd of buffalo,
They both
You
pretty
don't-
mean.
so buffalo travel in big herds, and you don't know which buffalo, like, let's say he was attacked by a lion a week ago, and he got a little scratch on him. That motherfucker's angry. They call him the Black Death for a reason. So in a big herd, you can't focus on one. And that guy circles around because he sees a threat, and he'll come from the side, and
Hunts
that adrenaline is just so bad, you can shoot him in the heart, and he'll still keep going.
No, you gotta know your shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, I'm really feeling hyped to go over there. Like, the further this conversation goes, I'm like, I really can't wait to get over there.
Are you going to do any hunting when you're over there?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah. I don't know what I'm hunting yet, though.
Hunt a lion.
Do I?
Or buffalo.
I don't know.
One of the two.
I mean, you really sold me on the line right out the gate. You're like, hey, you know what? They're dangerous as shit. You should go hunt one. Yeah, that sounds like,
Corey shot a buffalo when he was over there this year.
Yeah.
yeah. I think I'm most
that.
fearful of snakes, actually.
Oh, don't.
Because if I have a rifle and that snake comes at me, I am not hitting that dude. Period.
That Corey was like the opposite. He was like, yo, I'm going to pick these snakes up. There's so many snakes. We like, don't fucking touch any snakes.
I mean, because
Like, they fuck you
you
up.
guys don't
more.
have a lot of dangerous snakes.
Yeah.
And he caught this one snake and it bit him and it didn't do any damage and stuff. And now, he's like hyped up like, I can catch a snake. But, I mean, if you're trying to catch a black mamba, that's the most dangerous snake in the world. I mean, you got about 30 minutes. I would just go sit under a tree, peacefully, say your goodbyes, and just go out peacefully.
That's
you
my
know?
story.
I feel like I've heard that story before. That was Johnny's story.
So what I was taught is when you get bitten by a snake in the bush and you don't have any form of communication, you just go sit on a shady tree, sit down and die peacefully. Because if you don't sit in the shade, you're gonna stink. So you just die over there. And the one time I got bit by a snake and I just went and sat on a tree because I thought this is it. And like, what's something?
He sat there for like 4 hours and he's like, damn.
Yeah.
That was even poisonous.
I think it longer than I thought.
I go home.
So I was sitting there for a while, and my uncle, no, not my uncle, my mother's cousin drove past. He picked me up. We went to the hospital, and they said, motherfucker, that wasn't even the poisonous one. I said, oh, okay, well, I was ready to go.
I chalked it up. I was done.
No, don't fuck with snakes.
Yeah,
Very dangerous.
wouldn't do that.
I'm gonna look like a goalie for playing hockey out there.
No, I wouldn't mess with
No, it's going to be good, though.
I don't think that's how I want my story to end.
I don't know, that's a pretty badass way to go. I don't mind.
You're going to be in a good hunting area, though.
Yeah,
Up there northeast.
I'd way
There's a
rather.
lot
I'd way rather if I was like hunting a lion and a lion got me. That'd be a much cooler way to go out than
Where are you
like
gonna
a
go?
snake. What's
Right up north.
Yeah.
Right.
Close to
In South
Limpopo.
Africa.
Yeah.
it's north of? What's the main place that you fly into?
Pretoria.
No, it starts with a J.
Joburg.
But that's where.
Or
Say it all at the same
Yeah, but
time,
it's
and I didn't
Straight
catch it
north
at all.
of that.
Johannesburg.
Yeah, so it's like 2 hours north of there.
Yeah, it's basically
that's
close
close-
to Limpopo.
That's close to where our farm is.
Yeah. So
Big game farm.
called All Days.
All days.
That's
literally.
where our game farm is. In just the town before that, it's called
Maybe he's going to
Bevo.
your game farm.
I'm going to your house, Johnny. Surprise! That's why I brought you here tonight.
What game farm are you going to? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm a guest going.
Because I have a lot of friends that have farms at all days. Pretty nice farms. You might actually be going to one of theirs.
So the guys come over here and they work in Iowa.
Yeah.
So there's 2 guys that come work up in Iowa for a farmer, and they have a place there. So, but that should be later this year.
But I know there's one friend of mine, he does he has lodges on his farm, and it's for foreign guys. Because there's a mine close by, and he supplies housing for the foreign guys, and they take a lot of foreign hunters out as well.
So when I go over there, then I'm a foreigner.
Probably. But,
See that?
You're gonna be the one with the accent over
I
here.
know. See, I think it's funny. Like when Dahl and I went to Spain, when you go to like other countries, when we go to Mexico, when we go everywhere, people speak English.
yeah.
To where it's like I don't even think twice about like learning a second language. I'm like, most of the world has adapted to speaking English. A lot of times, like kids going through school almost all around the world like learn to speak
Yeah.
English, and then people come here and it's like we don't speak anything else.
I
It's
mean,
like-
but your guys' country's big enough, you know. There's not much else you need to speak.
What I found, because I've been to a couple states now, like every state acts like another country from each other. Like I've been to Washington 3-4 weeks ago, and not state DC,
Oh, that's just by its. I mean,
Yeah.
don't even classify that as part of
Yeah.
America. Probably
and I mean that didn't.
that place is a shithole.
Yeah.
I've been there, not going back.
I mean, the guys over there look like if you touch them, they'll say, you know, stuff like
Yeah, it's I went there one time. There's certain places I've been to in the United States. I go once and I'm like, I don't need to go back there.
Yeah.
But then there's places that you go that I think it's probably the same. I want to say it's maybe the same way in South Africa, but it's probably not. But it's. I also feel like you guys have a lot more land there that's like uninhabited.
But the thing is, our states don't have different laws from each other.
It's like
Like, it's
we
a
have
country.
provinces. You probably know what a province is.
Yeah.
Like it's 2 small
It's a
ass
state,
states.
so-
Like South Africa is basically a state. It's a country, but it's as big as a state.
It's not bigger than Texas. Well, maybe the same size.
Same size.
Same size as Texas, maybe.
Yeah,
Well, I don't fucking know.
but do you think so if you say it's same size as Texas, and you take that area, do you think you guys have more uninhabited land than Texas does?
Probably not.
Because
I don't really know. But there's like states like in Pretoria, Gauteng, that's the state's name where Pretoria is. That's the
Victor's dropping shit over here on the ground.
that's the
He goes, "Yeah, you want that?" I just dropped on the ground. Enjoy.
like that's the smallest state in the country with the highest population of any state in the country, because the biggest cities are in there, and then the biggest state in the country has the lowest population. So I don't really know.
If you go to South Africa, do you guys have pretty much all the same jobs that we have here?
Yeah.
Well, us 4.
No.
Well, like because your laws are so much more lax, I feel like. Do you guys have as many attorneys, like people going to school for law and stuff like that?
A lot of people go to law school
Because
because
A lot
it's
of
so
law, a
easy
lot
to
of
get in.
accountants,
It's so easy to get
a
in.
lot
law
of
school.
doctors.
Yeah, a lot of doctors.
Like I don't know.
I feel like
It's basically the same thing.
I think the jobs that are less are like the secondary industry, you know, like industrial processing. We
Yeah.
export a lot of our primary products. So,
Construction workers.
yeah.
Stuff like
One
that.
thing we
Much
do
more.
not have as much as you guys is fast food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do not.
That's also why we're so obese over here. There's a reason for it.
Yeah.
I feel like other countries eat way better than us, as in like actual health level. That everything in the U.S. has become so processed, so streamlined, of like not going bad. That
It's like a quantity game.
Like
is.
me and Cornelius kind of talked about it. Like whenever we came back after our first year, we were like, I really don't want to eat that greasy food anymore. Like we gotta work on something. Like you just feel different. Like you have the shits for a week whenever we get over it. I'm not gonna lie. Like our food
Yeah.
is different. Like we make sure we get our little veggies and a piece of meat, carbs. You know, just it's just a common thing.
I will say when I went to Spain, I felt like I was starving for the first like 2 weeks. When I get there and I'm like, do you guys have like chicken wings or like mozzarella sticks or like anything that's fried or like real food? Because like appetizers are like salted almonds,
Yeah.
celery. And I'm like, I don't want celery. Like that's just for rabbits. And, and you look at like
I'm
what
not
they're-
fucking vegan.
Yeah, you like look at their appetizers and shit, and you're like, and then you get a meal, and you're like, who is this made for? Like, it's like little bitty meals. I'm like, I'll take 3 of
I
them.
don't bring no pet.
Yeah, but it's funny, just like the portion control, everything like that, like at different places in the world.
Like I'm not
Everything's
gonna say we
bigger
eat
than the
smaller
States.
portions.
No,
we
you
get
get that
big
extra supersized smoothie thing that at all the fast food joints.
When I got a
Like,
large at the gas
The
station,
burgers are all bigger.
like in my first week, I bought a large soda. That
was a
motherfucker
lot.
was large. And it's not like a large we get in South Africa. It was a large. You know?
And they were like,
It has to
2
be
above
good.
that as well. You could get that.
Yeah, do you guys have as much pop and shit like that over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have
we got-
these cool pop machines like in the gas station where you just take your cup and like.
Do you guys have ice everywhere?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but you buy them in bags.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in plastic.
but we can't buy liquor in a gas station.
Okay.
Only a liquor
There's
store.
beer everywhere in America.
Yeah.
America's also a bunch of alcoholics. That's along with the
Yeah, I
obesity.
don't
Yeah,
know.
bro, we do.
South Africa's also close to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a big thing why it's like that is because whenever in South Africa you can drink when you're 18 years old. So when you're about 16, your dad starts introducing you to some beers and stuff. And over here, you got to wait till you're 21. You're in college. You haven't had a sip of alcohol for like 3 years.
You're not
You
around
get-
your parents to
you
help
get-
at all.
Yeah, you get introduced to this stuff. You're like, what the fuck is this? You know, you get so overwhelmed and stuff. And that's why people drop out and they're like, don't know what to do. Like, they're like, then I think that's how people get addicted to fucking alcohol because they don't know it.
Yeah.
Like, my dad told me whenever I was like 15, 16, he was like, have a beer with me. But you're going to do it here at my house. That if you pass out and you throw up, I'm going to take you to bed. And you're not going to wound up in some fucking ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
Which I think was kind of a good thing because I feel like now I've kind of matured to where I can just have a beer and I'd be good with that. I'm not going to get completely fucked up and, you know, that's it.
Besides when you get to the lake.
Ah, except for the lake.
Lake
It's
doesn't
the
count.
Volga.
Those
Lake
days
doesn't
don't count.
count.
I just had a great question that I'm blanking on now.
But our alcohol is also way different than you guys. We don't have Bush Light, Miller Light. It's only like Castle
How
Light.
do you survive without Bush Light?
Well, I didn't drink beer before I came here, but holy shit! Now,
You guys drink brandy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you guys don't have the type we drink, and that's all we drink. Actually, is all the people is drinking Richler. It's a type of brandy. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really good.
Would you say there's a lot of differences in businesses in South Africa and America? Like on how they're ran and operated, things like that?
I would say businesses over here have more employees and are just scaled to a different level. They're bigger. You won't find as much small businesses
In South Africa.
in America.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a bigger market. There are way more people in America, so you know, there's more opportunities to start. I don't know, making random stuff.
You can just start anything up here. Like you can.
Yeah, pretty much business-wise, anything you want to do in America, I think,
There's always a market for it.
yeah.
Like there's so many different people and so many different personalities, and like I don't know. I've met some weird Americans. I won't lie.
So there's a lot of weird Americans.
So like you know, there's a market
Groves
for
up.
those kind of people.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, they sell Dungeons and Dragons board games and shit.
Yeah, like
I mean, they sell a shit ton of that.
Like we talked about it the other day. You can just buy, like I can buy this glass like $1 somewhere. I bet I can sell this glass for $3 somewhere else. And if you do that like 100 times, you made some profit. You know.
So in a year from now, when you're back on the podcast and you're like the Missouri's largest glass dealer.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
But I think that's also a way that a lot of you guys think that come over, like people that have a work ethic that have their eyes open to opportunities will say, hey, there's an opportunity that I can buy this and sell it more. Like, look at what bars do. That a bar just positioned at the right place that caters to the correct market can say, hey, this beer is worth $5, which realistically you buy 30 of them, it's like $18. So now they're over 5x in their money every single time they sell one, but just because the market's right. But they saw an opportunity, they saw a void in market, they capitalize on it, and I think a lot of people don't have their eyes open to how that works. And I do think that there are a lot of Americans that do visualize that and even capitalize on it overseas. That there's products that we have that we can ship places. There's products that, I mean, China importing stuff into the U.S. all day, every day. They're like, hey, they can make this lighter for 49 cents and we can sell it for $45.
Exactly.
Like, and then it's just scalability after
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
So I think that the business market is pretty huge here.
Massive.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely way bigger.
Yeah. But I do think your guys' hunting market is probably a lot bigger.
No,
You guys,
has to be. Has to be. That's one of the biggest industries. Tourism has to be one of the biggest industries.
is
in
tourism
South
that big over there?
It's pretty big, but
It's pretty big. I mean, well, I'm not going to say most. but
Wildlife
a lot of South
tourism.
Africa consists of wildlife. I mean, it's our.
Kruger National Park is always full.
I mean, where are you going in the world to find the big five?
yeah, that's where you go.
Stewartsville, Missouri?
We're the big four.
Yeah, tourism is pretty big.
But I mean, everyone's always hesitant to come over there for the first time. But everyone I've heard that's been over there says they can't wait to go back.
I mean, you have been phenomenal salespeople towards me. You're like, you're going to get mauled by a lion. You're probably going to get bit by a snake. Make sure you find a tree to die under.
And live
like
inside a
security. Yeah, be inside a
Make sure you live
fence.
inside a fence.
Make sure there's 3 doors between you and everyone else. But, so, I mean, the sales pitch right now is crazy. I bet we have people booking tickets as fast as they can.
We'll have another podcast after you've been over and we'll see what happens.
But I mean,
if you make it back.
Once
Yeah,
you
if
go
I make
to
it
the-
back.
Once you go to the coastline, it's a whole different picture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so beautiful.
So what's
If
the
you-
coast look like over there?
If you see pictures of it, you'd never believe that's in Africa. That's
Probably
big.
right.
Like,
We're going to have
it-
Ricky plug a photo right here.
Yeah.
Right here, Ricky.
Until
South African coast.
Victor, I'm gonna do that.
Ew.
Point to something that's not there.
We're cropping each one of your guys' heads sitting on the beach.
Put a cool picture up here.
Yeah. So most of the time when tourism is going over there, is it coastal? Is it
It's a lot of the
Cape
tourism
Town?
goes to the national
I would
park,
say, yeah,
National
Kruger
Park and
National
Cape Town.
Park. Yeah, that's
national
the two
park
places.
and coastline, which is Cape Town.
So Cape Town has a lot of these vineyards, wine.
Vineyards.
Wine's a big thing there.
Yeah.
And I think most of the wine.
Mass is now cheesing and from the
Madison's
peanut
wild.
guy. Now she's like, well, I think I might go with them.
So
That's way
I
far
think
away from where we're going.
You guys are, it's like the other
Yeah,
side.
it's down south.
Yeah, like
All the way.
4.5 days away.
but it's pretty nice down there, and I think a lot of the things in Cape Town are actually like owned by foreigners,
Yeah,
other people from other countries, because it's so nice.
The houses.
it's so
Yeah,
expensive.
Yeah.
What's a house in Cape Town cost?
If you go to Clifton,
Clifton,
And,
probably
uh,
like 100 mil, between 50 and 100 mil.
Yeah.
Well, I
Maybe
heard
cough a
Kip
little.
Moore said he's gonna buy a house there in
Who?
Cape Town. Kip Moore.
Keep Moore.
Yeah,
Moore.
He's down there now. Keep Moore had a concert in Cape Town and in Pretoria
Johannesburg.
this past week. But
So he says he's buying a house there.
So you guys do listen to a lot of different music also.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
we've
country is big.
If I had,
yeah, we
It's-
listen to a
South
lot of country.
Africa. We listen
I've been
to that
listening to
stuff.
Morgan Wallen before
Yeah.
I came over.
Yeah.
We went to a Morgan Wallen concert last year, and I
Bro,
almost
when we're at the
cried like
lake,
a
you
little
guys
girl
turn
at
on this
One
shit on the boat that no one knows what any of the words are.
That's what you and
You ain't-
Boyan turn on. What are you talking about?
you are not listening to any Morgan Wallen.
No, that's during the day.
We got a
when
little bit of both.
when it's peaceful.
When
Yeah.
working, you put on a little country, like on the boats.
We
Like,
definitely have no control over the orcs when you're on that boat.
That is not true.
Definitely.
Literally every single time.
You a boy.
Every single time we click on a song, you're like, hey, 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 hey. And then, like, the second you get one, then somebody else is like,
No,
and then I'm
Dane.
like, the last hour we haven't even been listening to anything. I even know what they're saying.
Dane, I think you're just drunk.
I've got a couple of videos of
not-
the boat trip.
not yet.
And all of the videos, Dane's just up there dancing without a shirt on.
I do know about having a good time.
yeah.
It's
we
called
have a
work
good
hard,
time.
play hard.
We have a good time on that boat.
Getting that force in.
Yeah, I don't really get the fours in when we're at the lake.
Every time I wake up to go gym in the morning, I think when my alarm goes off, Dane said that force, you need to get them. And I just go,
You got to get them. The whole reason I created that was as I was getting up earlier and earlier to go to the gym, I just found out that I was like dicking around longer and longer and longer to actually go. I was like, oh, I got up earlier, but then I would like sit in the closet and I'd like play on my phone. Then I'd like get dressed and I'd like sit in the kitchen, play on my phone. Then I'd go get in the truck and I'd play on my phone. I was like, damn, I started working out at the same time I was. So now it's like I got disciplined where I'm like, okay, I go for the fours. If I get up at
Why
4,
is it triple four though? Like, where did that come from?
It was actually the first morning that I set my alarm for 4:30. I'm like, I'm not getting on my phone. I'm not doing anything. I'm getting up. I'm going straight to the gym. So I get up. I get dressed. I brush my teeth. I shoot downstairs. I get my pre-workout. I grab my water. I get out to the truck. It's almost to a T. My whole morning routine from when I roll out of bed at 4:30 takes me 14 minutes.
14:44.
So it's
4:44.
4:44. And if I mess around at all, I miss it.
yeah.
To where it makes it to where I don't sit and scroll on my phone. I don't do anything like that. I go straight through my process and it's straight out the door. But it's eliminating that, like, I don't know, that I feel like in the morning's probably the easiest time for me to talk myself into scrolling on my phone or doing something different. I'm like, well, if I go to the gym 30 minutes later and I play on my phone, I'm still getting there by like 5:15. I'm still pretty good. I'm like,
Especially if we work this long hours, holy shit! If we go bed at like 11 and I have to get up at 4,
Like,
I
you
just
can-
like getting all these excuses in my brain and like, no, I can do this afternoon, and then I realize that we're gonna work until 11, and then I set another alarm for 10 minutes later, and then I just you just need to get up and just go take a leak, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Get
it's
up.
like
And once
it's
you're up-
weird, like how your brain can run that fast whenever you're just awake. Like if you had to wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me a math question, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But when you ask me, like, give me like 5 more reasons why I can go back to sleep, I'd name it like this. Like, quick.
Like the other night, Victor. So there was a fire. Where was that? Fire?
It was like 3 days ago.
Yeah,
Corey's burning stuff in the middle of the gusting wind in the day.
and Philip. Philip and Johnny left, and
12
I
at night,
heard.
Corey called us.
And let me
This
just-
fire's
can I-
getting out of hand.
Yeah,
Yes.
can I just
Okay.
pre-story? So Corey burnt a whole lot of stuff on Sunday and the wind was pumping. And we thought we'd put it out well enough. Obviously the fire got back up.
And then Victor. Well, I did not know it's him. Because I lock my door every night, and I heard, "Hey, come, boy." And I was like, sorry, it sounds fucking weird. Anyways, and Victor, I didn't realize. I thought it's my alarm talking to me like, "Hey, boy, let's go work out." So I got on my phone and I switched off my alarms, like.
To get up to go
Yeah,
work
and
out.
Victor and I started realizing, hey, somebody's talking to me and knocking on the door, and I said, "Come, let's go. We have to do something." So this is weird, and I just get up and he said, "Get your farm clothes on," and I see it's fucking dark outside, and then all of a sudden he's out of the door, like out of the bunkhouse. And I heard a voice like, "Hey, you don't have to come anymore." So I'm getting undressed, going back to bed. And he's coming, "Hey, no, we have to go. I have to go." I was like, "Fuck."
I mean, it was so confusing
Yeah,
because
yes.
I just fell asleep. I fell asleep at like 10 o'clock. Next moment I get this call, and I also thought it was my alarm going off, and I was like, damn, I did not sleep long enough. And I look at my phone and I see Corey's calling me. He's like, I answer him. I'm like, and he's like, Philip, are you up? I'm like,
No.
sir.
Yeah, I'm on the phone with you.
Yeah, like, I am now. Like, get on your jeans, get on your boots. We got a fire to put. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Oh, I get add fireman to my resume. Let's go.
I mean, we got a whole bunch. I do construction, fireman.
We can lay concrete, whatever the fuck
I can
you
do about
want.
anything you want me to do. So I get up, get in my jeans, like, and bring somebody with me. So I'm like, get to the closest room. Like, I'm gonna get Johnny. Wake him up. He's like, get dressed. We gotta go put a fire out. Next moment,
He
Corey,
goes,
come pick us
you
up.
know what? I'm going to get Victor. And the Victor's like, I'm going to get Cornelius.
I was putting out fires. I still thought it was a dream. I didn't know what was
Like,
going
you
on.
just woken up and all of a sudden there's this big ass fire in front of you. You gotta put out. So I don't know. It's just really confusing
We
situation.
got it done.
Yeah, you talk about doing like waking up and doing the math problem. So I downloaded this app and I thought that this was so Ricky's a psychopath, okay? He eats chips without salsa and he also does math
That
problems
is
every
kind of psycho.
It is pretty good.
You gotta get either cheese dip or
Yeah, something.
One or the other.
But he also does math problems when he wakes up. So he's like, he uses this app. So I downloaded this app one night. Mass and I were laying in bed. I'm like, I'm going to get up tomorrow. And I'd been in like a week rut where I'd snooze my alarm. And this was when I was getting up at like 6 in the morning. And I'm like, okay, I'm setting this app where it does math problems. I get on and like it shows easy. I'm like, those are way too easy. And I look at medium, I'm like, way too easy. I'm like, hard, still pretty easy. I'm like, I'll go extra hard. And I set my alarm, and it goes off. And you have like 30 seconds, and your alarm starts going off until you get them right. And my alarm goes off at like 6. I'm sitting there trying to figure out, I'm like, what is my problem? I could not figure it out. And Madison's like, turn this shit off. I'm like, I can't figure out the problems to get it to go off.
I bet Madison loves the triple fours.
It took like, so now like I have zero issue getting up now. Like I've been doing it long enough that most of the time I'll get up like 5-10 minutes before my alarm goes
So
off.
you're still doing the math thing?
No, I stopped that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No,
Get into that routine. If you wake up that time every morning, you'd start to wake up.
yeah. Monday I was actually pretty pissed because Sunday there was a bunch of people over. I don't even know what the hell we were doing Sunday. We did something on Sunday. People were over, and I was like, I set my alarm, and I was laying on the couch. I was like, if I fall asleep, whatever, it'll be set. And I set it for 4 p.m.
I
Made that
I saw
mistake.
that.
Yeah, and I still got up at like 5 because I had like my body tried to wake up like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just not
The
time.
alarm
I was
didn't
like, I'm
go.
waiting for the alarm. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for the alarm. And like the third time, I'm like, something's got to be off. And it was like 5:36 or something. I was like, and I thought I just like wasted my whole morning. I was like so mad at myself, like getting
Yeah,
up at
you
that
get
time.
so mad.
And I was like, and still like most time people were like, it was still 5:30. I'm like, no, but I'm supposed to get up at 4:30. I'm like, I've moved that up to get disciplined at that.
I always, one time I heard my alarm goes off and I think of all of these excuses. Till I couldn't sleep for 2 hours and all these excuses in my head, I couldn't sleep. And then we started working. I was like, what the fuck? You just needed to stand up because now you spend it awake for 2 hours in your bed where you could have just went and work out and not thinking about excuses.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, you keep talking about the Square One deal.
Yeah.
What is that?
So Square One is a coaching group that we created. That it was Ricky and I went out to a big like business conference deal out in Utah, and we go over like personal growth, business growth, like marketing, all kinds of different things every Wednesday at 10. And it's building like a community where I don't know, like-minded people can be in one space and
Like share ideas.
yeah, and it's something that as we've progressed in business, I have felt that we have, I don't know, I think our dreams, our aspirations, things like that have really grown a lot. And I think there's a lot of things that you have to do every week, and there's a lot of things that you always need to work on that self-growth, not just once in a while. Like, that's something that always needs to be right
It
in
needs
front
to
of
be
you.
drilled into your lifestyle. Like you
Just-
need to.
It's something you always do. And if you can't take an hour out of your week to work on like growing yourself personally, like you need to take a step back. Like, and I'm very much a progression person. Like I'm always trying to move the needle forward in every aspect of my life.
Try to better yourself.
And that's in personal relationships. That's in relationship with Madison, that's with business, that's with just family, whatever it is in business. And it's when you're always moving that needle and whatever it is, trying to be the best version of yourself, there's a lot of things that play a factor in that. And we go over different things every single week on really what that progression looks like and things that people can actually implement week over week to continue that progression. So it's a side piece. It has nothing to do with Moss Marketing Group. It was just something that we wanted to start that and, I don't know, have something a little
That's great.
It's pretty
different.
good.
But it's
But it's good for you as well.
yeah.
Something to build on.
I think it's actually something that when I started it, I thought it was going to be like, I'm like, when these people come in, it's just going to be like the best thing for everyone to come in. But it's like me actually working on building those calls and putting all that stuff together. It really makes me take a step back and look in the mirror.
Yeah.
That there's been times I've been working on putting calls together and I'm like going through, I'm like, somebody needs to do this, this, and this. I'm like,
Maybe I should do this.
I cannot sit here and tell somebody to do that because I'm not doing that. And that seems pretty fucking hypocritical.
Yeah.
So it's like, it makes me take a step back every single week.
That's really great.
My thought was halfway through that we are going to run this as 2 parts. So we'll have a part 1 and a part 2. So I thought that about when we were hitting this last time, we cut it short. But we're going to run this podcast as 2 parts.
Cool.
Thanks for listening to the M3 Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Want to learn more? Check us out on Instagram at Moss Marketing Group, on Facebook at Moss Marketing 58, or on our website at mossmarketinggroup.com.